Right, welcome back to the Den. I'm here with my brother and partner in crime, Nathaniel, and I'm here with Will and Edwin from the Top Dead Centre YouTube channel. And I'm going to start by saying, you absolute bastards.
Okay.
Because you've had a YouTube channel for about a year.
Yeah.
And you have something like 460,000 subscribers.
Actually, almost 490,000.
Well,
Get it right.
Sorry, I did my research 5 minutes ago. Did you expect it to take off that quickly?
Not at all, no. Will and I said, because we had kind of sat on the sidelines of YouTube for a couple of years, so we had a good idea of how to go about doing it, but I said, it'd be really cool if our first video got 100,000 views and we got like 25,000 subscribers in the first month or so. That would be like a really cool way to hit the ground running. And it just went crazy from there. I can't actually remember what it was in the first week. It was 100?
100K was in the first week or so.
It was,
or even the first few days, which is, even thinking about it now, is mental.
Absolutely ridiculous.
And that was off the back of the first video, which was basically just you explaining why you were doing a YouTube channel.
It's basically just
standing in a room.
Yeah, and just shitting on my old employer. It's great. It was quite cathartic as well. It's quite nice. Yeah.
Get it all out.
Sure, he doesn't feel the same. But that's fine.
No. So, for those who haven't seen that episode, explain a little bit about that previous employer and what's led to where you are now.
So Will and I met in like 2016 odd when we worked at Car Throttle, a huge automotive media company. They were on YouTube, they had a website, they had social media pages. That's kind of where Will and I met. And over the years, things changed. They sold the company to the company that owned Evo magazine, a massive publishing company. They had no idea what they were kind of doing with us, and had, to be fair to them, maybe been a bit missold on what Car Throttle was. So we then got offloaded to another company, and at this point there was only a few of us left. Even Alex, the main presenter of Car Throttle, he had moved on to do his own thing. And so the only people that were left were Ben, who's sitting over there, myself, Jack and Ethan, the other two presenters. And I would say I'm quite outspoken, maybe, perhaps. And Ben is nodding in the corner. The new owner of the company didn't like that. He wanted yes men. And I would not do that. I would tell him quite often that he was wrong. And maybe there were some other words in there, who knows. So yeah, we butt heads a lot, and I loved Car Throttle. I never wanted to leave it, but through this, I decided, right, this isn't really a place for me if I can't get any of my thoughts and my ideas across. And it just so happened to be at the exact same time that Will had been approached by Alex from previously of Car Throttle to start a new channel, and Will thankfully said my name is who he wanted to do it with, and so I got a call too, and I said, well, this is great timing. Ben, do you want to come with me? And so Ben and I quit. And all of us quit, actually. We've never really talked about that, but all of us quit at the same time.
Wow.
So it was a really lovely couple finger salute to the previous owner.
So did you already have a vision at this point of, if I had a YouTube channel, this is what I'm going to put on it, this is the sort of content?
So we kind of spoken about, because obviously we were both kind of somewhat unhappy in what we were doing in the months that led up to this, before it all kind of came to TDC, basically. So we kind of knew what we wanted to make. But if we were saying that the last year and 18 months worth of content was all completely planned, we would be lying. Because a lot of it is just doing it as you go. You're going to keep... I think I got a shake. Yeah. Sorry, hang on.
We interrupt this broadcast because we've got a...
it's you. How do I stop you shaking? Someone do some engineering.
Yeah,
there we go.
We'll call it that.
Oh, that'll do.
Oh, it's because it was perfectly vertical.
Yeah. A wobbly handle.
God, Retropower, you guys don't look into the details enough.
Oh, no. So for those listening to this only on audio, they'll be like, what was perfectly vertical? Anyway, carry on.
We had a noise issue. But yeah, basically the ideas we had, which a lot of them we've already done, but there's only so much you can come up with in a few evenings. So yeah, most of it now is just us going, this is what we want to try. We'll try that next week. We'll try that next month. And you're sort of discovering it as you go along, really.
We also have the beauty of, granted we are confined to cars, but we can do anything with cars. Like you guys would not as soon put a video up that's driving a Model T. It doesn't fit into your like content strand. Your content strand is creating these cars from scratch. Whereas we have the beauty of going, let's try this. Let's try that. Okay, that doesn't work. Let's go back to this. That's kind of, it helps with building an audience, really.
And that, I think probably the first episode, was it, where you bought that Porsche that had been vandalised. I'm kind of, in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, these guys quit their job. They were like, let's do a YouTube channel. We've got $5,000 to spend. Yeah. What are we going to do with that $5,000?
Spunk it on a Porsche.
Yeah. Was that more or less the
that was entirely it. It was, we actually found that Porsche from when I was at Car Throttle, because we had always wanted to do a video where turning up to a scrapyard, finding a car that was about to go in the crusher and saving it and seeing if it could just go through an MOT and start driving again. And we did. We went to this scrapyard, found a little Peugeot 106, saved it. But while we were walking around, there was this 996 set up on a lift. I was like, what's the story with that? And the guy said, it will be for sale at some point. There's a lengthy insurance discussion. He wants silly money for it. They're fighting back and forth. I'll let you know when it's for sale. And probably a month or so before I decided to quit, they said, this car's ready to go. You can buy it if you want. So I spoke to the owner of the channel and said, this would be a great build for us. He said, okay, let's buy it, commit to buying it. I told the guy, cool, let's buy it. He sent a payment link. I thought it was all paid. And then a week or two later, I got a message from him saying, what's happening? It's not been paid. So I contacted the channel owner and he said, no, we're not doing it anymore. I'm not paying for it. So I had to then go to the scrapyard and say, I'm really sorry. He's backed out on this. I'm not trying to mess you around. I apologise. And then a month later, we started TDC and I was like, let's just see if the car's still there. Messaged him and he said, yeah, it's still there. Do you want to buy it? You can have it for the same deal he did before. And this time, yeah, we made it work. So it was definitely a shot in the dark, really. We had no idea if it would work. We didn't have the expertise, but we were like, screw it. It'll be fun to go down in flames trying to do it. Yes. And thankfully it panned out. Yeah.
And a long stream of misery ensued.
Oh yeah, big time misery. Anything I've worked out from this week working on that Mark IV Golf, anything Volkswagen Audi group project, I just hate. It's just always misery.
Yep.
As much as we hate the Jag, VAG products
S3.
are just tough. Yeah, the S3, the Golf and the Porsche. God.
Yeah, VAG is like, everybody says, oh, it's all like Lego and any bit fits any other bit. Except they fail to mention they changed like this 1% bit in the corner.
Yeah,
so it doesn't.
It's Lego a 4-year-old has played with and broken.
Yeah. It all fits, apart from the one that they decided to make at 3 o'clock on a Friday, where they decided to just make it slightly different.
Yeah, exactly.
For some reason. And it seems to have been VW from the very beginning with Beetles. Oh no, that window's slightly got a different radius to that. That's a totally different Beetle, that one. That's got a different door handle shape. And we did that one for 3 minutes 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So one thing I think I love about how you guys come across is it's obvious that you're actually genuine petrol heads, and that's been there, and it comes across that it's been there since long before you were doing the videos for your channel. What I'm curious to know though is when that obsession with cars, maybe that's fair to say, I don't know if it is or not, but when that obsession with cars started, was it when you learned to drive? Was it earlier than that? Where did it come from?
I've been fairly obsessed with cars since a young age, basically, and a lot of that is because of my dad and whatever else, because he's also the same as me. But to be fair, getting actually into like cars or the car scene, if you like, wasn't actually until I got my first car. Because I didn't have any like reference point. I didn't things like wheels and modifying and fixing. I had no idea about any of that until I was 17, well, probably like 18, 19, when I had my first car and started working on it with my dad. Before that, I was like, I don't know. I know alloys and I know that people do window tints and people do this, but it was only then that I was like, oh, okay, there's more to this. There are places I can go to. I can modify my car. So that was where it started. But yeah, it's always been cars, really.
And what about yourself?
It was legit day one for me. I do believe it is. People always say, what is it, nature, nurture? It's in the blood for me. I remember one of my first memories are car related, and my dad was trying to make a positive impact by trying to get me he was into old Alphas, and so he tried to get me into like Alphas, Ferraris, Porsches, and it was going well until I think I was 4, and I turned up. It was his my dad's mate's house. His son had just got a Max Power powder blue Saxo with like 7-inch exhaust tips, an audio build in the boot. And I remember being like 4 or 5 and going, I like this. And him going, no, don't look at that. And I was like, no, whatever this is, I like. And so, yeah, I think whenever I first got access to a computer at 7 or 8, I created a folder and I would save photos of cars I liked off the internet. And I still have that folder. And it has photos of cars on the internet that aren't on the internet anymore. Like, I'm fairly sure they only exist in my folder. And they're just they're columnized into make, model, different wheels, aftermarket wheels, this, that. There's,
awesome. Yeah. You're making me feel old though now, because I'm thinking when I was that age, I don't think the internet
definitely didn't exist. And I remember, when that dates it a bit, because when Saxos were popular, I remember my first big car build, wasn't just an engine conversion. I built a rear-wheel drive converted Peugeot 205.
Nice.
When I'd have been 20, 21. And Saxos were like the thing at the time, because I remember the orange colour, that orange, the Saxo orange. I was like, right, I'm painting it that colour, and I remember that dates it a bit. I was 20, 21 when you were 4 or whatever.
But that was it, original days.
One of my first memories actually was we had these observer's book of cars, which had specifications of cars, and I clearly remember the one that was 8990. Yeah. So I was born in 82. I know I look much younger than that, but so I would have been, 7 is that?
Yeah, something like that,
7 years old, and I remember studying all these facts and figures, and that's a similar thing to you organising the pictures into the folders. Basically, it was like you wanted to learn all this information. You didn't know what you were going to do with it, but it felt special in some way. Yeah.
Here's one for you then. What's the standout car from that book that you remember now?
Panther Solo.
Mine's the Lancia Thema 8.32. Yes. The Ferrari V8 powered Lancia Thema.
Yeah, with the wing that pop up and out. Yeah. That was really cool.
What was your first car?
My first car was a Mark IV Golf 1.616 valve, which unfortunately set me down the path of stance and putting Porsche wheels and different, make manufacturer bits on cars.
And Will?
Mine was a Fiesta Mark VI 1.25 style. It was actually really nice, to be fair, but it was just incredibly basic. It was the most basic Fiesta you could get.
But when it has a name like Style, that's making up for the fact that it's a base model.
Those engines, though, they are quite a thing. Those 1.25s, they were
they
were an engine that could withstand a 17 or 18-year-old and keep coming back for more. And they kept coming back for more. It's like 8,000 RPM all the time. They keep coming back for more.
We've brought back identical versions of our first cars for a series, which we're in the midst of filming now, basically. We just took both of them to a track day. And also on the road, we've been using them.
That handbrake has been in use.
Yeah. And it just, and now I remember what I drove mine like, which was probably worse.
Yeah.
And I had that car for 2 years, which is the longest I've ever owned a car. And that must have taken a pounding for a year. And it just went, that's fine.
Also,
deal with it.
Impressively fast on track.
Yeah, not bad.
It's slow, and the Golf was much quicker.
But considering how basic they are.
The amount of times there was just a Fiesta grill in my rearview mirror. I was like, what's going on here?
It's momentum based motoring.
Yes. I remember those days when in your first car, had no power, trying to plan how far back you needed to be when you floored it. So you were really carrying speed just as you came up behind the car you wanted to overtake at the right moment. But then you'd time it wrong and have to have the brakes.
Momentum's gone.
I've got a Honda Beat, and that is very much the same. 60 horsepower NA. Yes. If you get that timing wrong, you're back of the line. So everyone comes past, you're done.
What's that thing like to drive? I always fancied one of those.
It is one of my favourite cars on earth. I've been obsessed with them since I was about 10. We bought one right towards the beginning of the channel, a Copart written off one, and it's got all the mods that I wanted. When we were I was 18, we went to a car show, and it was the first one I'd seen in person, and it was at a Maguire's, like a secret barbecue meat thing. And I went around the show all day asking people who owned the car. They were like, go speak to him. He might know. Went to speak to him. He's like, no, I don't know. Go speak to that person. Will and I trudged around like 15 different people asking who owned this stupid little Honda. And in the end, the guy said, it's mine. You can go have a look at it. Go sit in it. And then years later, after I bought mine, that car popped up for sale braking. And so I bought all of the body parts and a load of bits of it of the exact car that caused me to want to get into them. But they are such ridiculous fun. Just 9,000 RPM everywhere you go. You're never breaking the speed limit. You can Ben will attest. I will sometimes follow Ben home, like on our commute, and Ben driving normally is the equivalent of driving on track. Like you're slamming gears, your left foot braking into corners. The car in front of you is just driving like a normal car. It's the most fun you can have within the speed limit.
It's like that sort of MX-5 effect, only more so.
It's literally it's half an MX-5 power. It's amazing. But yeah.
We've got a Suzuki Cappuccino you should probably seen downstairs here in the den, and I guess I've never driven any of these little roadster K car type things, and I bet they're so much fun. But I need to have a go in that Cappuccino when it's done.
The Cappuccinos are quick. They're good. Yeah, like they're compared to the Beat, they will wash a Beat on anything.
I guess they're because it's the Beat NA. Isn't
it? NA. Yeah.
A friend of my wife's brother actually sent me a photo the other day of something that I think I've only ever seen one in the UK, and then this photo, an AutoZam Z81. They look like a cracking
they're
thing.
Great,
kind of easy to forget them. There's not very many of them around.
No, and they're worth money now. They're like 15 to 20 grand now.
Right.
Because they've got the Gullwing tax, so they're worth money.
Is that the one they built as someone did it? Was it an F40 style one?
Yeah, in Japan.
A miniature F40.
Yeah. Literally that,
There's I think it's a very terrible replica of like a Mustang or something. It's so bad, I'm not even sure what it is. But in the village I live in, there's like this Mustang. I think it's based on an MR2, but it's like you would choose an MR2 because it's vaguely the same shape as the car you're trying to recreate. It's nothing like the same shape.
Someone went, right, they make Ferrari replicas out of MR2s. Clearly they're the car to use as a base, so I'll make a Mustang one out of one.
So that last video I was watching of yours was the Model T Ford video, which just genuinely had me in stitches. Is that thing as ridiculous to drive as it looked?
Absolutely. It still stresses me out to this day. Just thinking about how to drive it. It is because there was about a month or two between us learning how to drive Model T and then going out and driving one on the road.
Is this an actual original? I've not seen this video. So this is an original type Model T. So pedals in the wrong place.
Pedals in the wrong place. Throttle is on the steering wheel.
Yeah.
It was harrowing.
Yeah.
So Charlie of Surrey Rolling Road owns one, but he said to us, "I'm not letting you drive my car on the road until you go and learn how to do it." And there's a guy, Neil Tuckett, who teaches people how to drive Model Ts, and he is the Model T man.
Yeah,
and maybe even in the world, I'm not sure, but I mean, there's just Model Ts everywhere. He buys them, sells them, fixes them, teaches people how to drive them, and it is incredibly complicated. And your brain. Driving on a normal road, we were very lucky when we drove it on the road. It was very quiet, and we were on country roads. I cannot imagine what that would be like in a traffic jam, or if something pulled out in front of you, or anything like that. Anything sudden, you're going to either kill it or everyone.
What was the sort of speed achieved in the brakes like?
We did achieve. I think when I was driving it, 37 miles an hour.
You got to 37.
Yeah.
I reckon we both nearly touched 40.
Yeah. It feels like 400
Yes.
miles. Yeah.
Well, he let us have Neil Tuckett let us have a go in a modified. It was in period modified, so it had no bodywork. Your feet were on wooden boards that were old beer barrel boards, and then they decided to cut the other one. So your right foot, if you're the driver, was just on a stirrup, just pointing out the side of the chassis rail. You just had it, there's just floor under you. And it also had a 3-speed overdrive added to the gearbox. So he was like, yeah, this can do like 60. We probably got to 45 on a single track road, and I don't know that I've been more. I'm quite comfortable driving dumb shit, but I was scared. We got into the top gear, and I was like, this is fun. Oh, no, this is not fun. Slow us down now.
The brakes do nothing. I mean, in that standard Model T,
they're rear-only rod brakes, aren't they?
Yeah, it's there for encouragement. It's there to make you think you're stopping. You're not.
A few years back, I wanted to buy. I've always quite fancied doing this. It's just a project that I'm never going to have time to do. But I've always quite fancied doing a British take on a hot rod, on an American hot rod, and doing it. I've always fancied an Austin 12 pickup. Yeah. And I actually got as far as going and test driving one, but I couldn't really quite stretch. The guy wouldn't come down far enough on price. Rightly so. I think it was worth what he was asking, and he sold it, sure enough. But anyway, went and test drove that, and that was an experience. Yeah, sort of plate glass there, and bench seat, and an enormous amount of play in the steering. Basically, no brakes whatsoever. That would go. Yeah, I think we got up to sort of probably 45 miles an hour or so, and at that, I mean, you've got no chance. If something pulls out in front of you, you're doomed.
Just jump.
Yeah, just jump out. Yeah.
The weird thing is, though, I'd like to try it again.
I don't.
I have a weird Stockholm syndrome with it, where when I'm in it, I'm like, just let me out this car. And the moment I go home, I'm like, it's quite fun.
I'd like to drive one around a field. Like, or around a massive open space, but the thought of driving one on the road again is.
Are you familiar with you will be the Walkers who are actually not far down the road from here, and the Mark Walker, and you would have seen the Dirac 200 horsepower that he's taken up. I mean, blew it up a while ago, but he's taken it up the Goodwood Hill a few times and round, and he races it and hill climbed it. He blew the engine. It was actually rebuilt the engine. There was only ever one engine built. They only ever made one of those cars, so he's rebuilt the engine from scratch from a new block that he's had cast, having made the pattern for it. And anyway, long story, but yeah, that's. I was talking to his son actually, and he said, "Oh, it's because I said, what does it feel like with 200 horsepower in something that's from 1905?" And he said, "Oh, well, it's not 200 horsepower." He said, "It's nearly 300." I was like, "You what?" He said, "Oh no, yeah, we rolling roaded it." I was like, "How?" He said, "Oh yeah, no, it might have been a dyno." He said, "We dynoed it. Yeah, it's nearly 300 horsepower." This was shortly before he blew it up.
Yeah, I can't imagine. I mean, I don't even know what power the Model T had. I'm imagining it's a single figure, or possibly even creeping into double. But Neil Tuckett was telling us about how people would race them. They're doing like 80 mile an hour into corners. I was like, absolutely not.
That's After feeling like the steering of that car, I cannot imagine that car doing anything more than 5. Coming into a corner at 60 with a steering wheel that doing that does nothing. I don't want to be a part of that.
But did you see Mark Walker's crash at Goodwood? That was at the members' meet this year, wasn't it? When he went into the barrier in that Dirac. He got ejected and then ran back over to the car to check that the car was all right, which it wasn't. That'll be being rebuilt again. But yeah,
I think that's the best option, is being ejected from it upon a crash. I don't want to be anywhere near it.
It's just jagged metal, isn't it? Really.
And a fuel tank that is just underneath you.
Yeah.
A fuel tank that was made 100 years ago.
Yeah. But you're being quite a minority of people sort of in social media, in media in general, who have driven something like that and can give an opinion on driving something like that and driving a modern EV. Side by side. That you almost need one to give the juxtaposition of the other.
Well, that's the thing. That's kind of from the outset. We always said, let's just do something like things that we've always kind of wanted to try.
That's where it all began.
And we were like, a Model T would be cool to drive. Let's go try one of those. So there's lots of other things to tick off the list of weird shit to drive.
I've never looked at old cars like that before with any interest. But then after that, I'm looking at old cars in museums going, oh, that's how they did it.
Yeah. Oh, I could drive that.
Oh, that's got a lever. Lovely. There was one I saw. I think it's that Mercedes-Benz model. I looked at it, and in the front, there is a steering wheel. But there's nothing else. There's no pedals, and there's levers in the back. I was like, who's driving that?
2 moments, I just need to accelerate.
Literally, there's a lever that you'd have to reach over and do that with, but without seeing what it is. I was like, there was a lot of trial and error.
Early days, wasn't it? Early days. There wasn't a book on how to build a car back then, was there?
So what's the favourite? What's your favourite episode or the favourite thing you've done so far for the YouTube series?
The classic. My usual response is we bought £500 off roaders, and I just love that series. So I bought Will. We do a thing sometimes where we'll buy each other the car. Sometimes we'll buy our car, our own car. Sometimes we swap who gets to buy them. So I bought Will a Rover Streetwise for 450.
Not strictly an off-roader.
No, but it had, it looked like it could be.
Enough. It's got plastic on it.
And to be fair, I felt really bad because Will then bought me a Scenic RX4, which I have always loved. They're so cool. This is a proper off-roading Scenic. So we stuck general grabbers on them. We did block lifts. So we just spaced.
Had like a billet piece of block that Kyle put in, actually. It only had general grabbers on the front.
Well, of course, it's front-wheel drive. And then lifted only the front. We took the doors off the Rover.
Yep.
So it's Safari spec. And I put a shit light bar on the Scenic, which I accidentally wired into... We had to get it done. I had to go the next day. So I was just frantically wiring this up. So I used a what do you call it? A vampire clip. obviously no number one, into a wire. Yeah, that wire was for the sunroof, meaning the light bar would only come on when you click the sunroof open. So if you click the sunroof open, light bar will go on. So if you're out and about and you wanted it on, you had to have the roof open. The moment you closed it, it would go, all right, light bar off, mate. But yeah, we did some, and then we played tag. We played it with them in a like abandoned quarry. And that was a proper like Top Gear spec.
Yeah.
What are we doing? But this is really fun moment. But the Model T's up there for me. It's one of my favourite videos we've done. It's just funny.
It's absolutely hilarious. The top hats and the pipes.
Yeah.
And it was brilliant.
Also, Ben's off camera. He doesn't have a mic, but you still have your pipe sitting in your car in your X5.
Just in case.
Ben gave me a lift the other day, and it was just sitting in the ashtray as if he was like a pipe smoker.
I'd probably put Off-Roaders is definitely that. Off-Roaders finale anyway, or the series was good, and annoyingly wasn't not badly received. It just wasn't as popular as the other series, so we haven't really like followed it up. But that was really, really good. We did the limo video.
Oh yeah, the limos.
We bought a limo for $1,000 or $2,000. I can't remember. I actually can't remember.
That'll be
It's got a bit of Granada
special.
in there. or
Yeah,
something.
so it was a town. It was limo,
Yeah.
like, as you could imagine, a town car limo. And it was just great because we drove it around on the road for a day. Went and did a Costco shop in it. Took it through a drive-through. We had to get
Drive-through
rid of
didn't
that.
go well.
Yeah, drive-through wasn't the best for that. But it's surprisingly easy to drive.
Yeah, actually not terrible.
Yeah. For a very, very long. Obviously, some situations are a little bit.
The
sticky,
worst
but-
thing
Did you
is,
try and go off-roading in that?
No, we didn't do that. No.
got a lot of people asking.
Roundstone.
The worst thing is we share a unit with another YouTuber, Auto Alex, and so we have like a communal kind of car park, and there was limited space, and the looks of anger we got when we came home in this limo and went, "It's our new limo," and they went, "Where's it living?" We went, "Here," and they were actually like, "No, this takes up 6 car spaces. We're already at capacity." So yeah, that lived in a bush for a while. We put it under a bush to give us some space.
Not normally those kind of videos are normally the most. We've done that. We bought a microcar. Which is also hilarious. We put diesel in it by accident, which was actually by accident. We thought it was a diesel, despite the carb in the engine bay.
Real
And the
rookie.
spark plugs, presumably, as well.
And then what was the other ridiculous thing? Oh, the Cadillac.
Oh, now that is one of the best ones. We bought, the one I mentioned earlier, which is a 76 Coupe de Ville. So 8.4, is it 8.4?
8.4, I think.
8.4 litres, Cadillac 500 V8.
500.
The most rusty, horrible piece of shit. And we then we stored it. We just left it in a car park that we pay for storage in, and it genuinely fell apart in rust. Like
It just dropped on the ground.
it was there before, but we went back to it because we wanted to do a video on it recently, and the B pillar had disappeared. When I say it disappeared, it was gone.
We need to bring it here.
Yeah.
Do a full.
God, please, God no. So we've got.
Was it a 4-door or a 2-door?
Two-door.
There's a 2-door.
Oh, okay, it's just you saying about the B pillars just triggered a weird memory from ages ago on the farm where somebody had was it a Plymouth 98 or something?
Yeah,
This
yeah.
massive, like ridiculously long
Alistair.
4-door. And
Alistair.
and it kind of looked cool because it was a 4-door with frameless doors.
Oh yeah.
But the B pillar, if you like, which the rear door hinges off,
Was it half height?
was half height.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of those.
And because it was also completely rusty, if you opened the door, the rear door, it was just like flexed around
Yeah.
on this like random bit of B pillar.
Ours does that too, to be fair. Yeah.
Yeah, even though it's
So-
not a floating pillar.
When does this podcast go out?
Probably next Wednesday.
Okay, cool. So by now the video will have gone out where we decided we gave the Cadillac one last chance. So it made 8.4 litres. We put it on the dyno when we first had it.
Ooh.
Any guesses on what it made?
I'm going to go 160
I
horsepower.
was literally going to say exactly the
ambitious.
same.
Okay, you're both very ambitious.
What? Oh my God.
120 horsepower it made on the dyno.
Holy Moses.
Yeah, so, Cosworth, if they need tips.
Yeah. Go to see
So-
8.4 litres of 120. What were they originally? How many
originally-
had escaped?
190 is what they were originally. So what we did, this is Monday's video, we decided to see how much we could gain back. So we got
Nitrous.
Our friend, it's funny you mentioned that.
There's only one solution to this
So we
problem.
got our friend Kyle to mess with the timing, and that gained a good amount. You can go and see it, and then we cut the back boxes off and resonators. And then the final thing was I had bought a Quadrajet nitrous kit to plumb it in properly, and they kept back ordering me on the parts. So I just bought a nitrous bottle and we shot it directly
Send
into
it
the
in.
intake.
Yeah,
So that was quite fun.
That'd make quite a bit, briefly.
It wasn't as much as I was hoping, but it was mainly because the dyno fan was blowing the nitrous away from the intake and straight into the face of Charlie, the dyno operator. So he had a great,
he was smiling.
He had a great time. That
Couldn't see his buttons anymore.
the deal was if the car made its original horsepower, which it did and exceeded, we would keep the engine and throw away the rest of the car. So now we want to find something dumb to put that engine in. So we're thinking...
We know somebody who would definitely have... It's probably not dumb, though. George's Cadillac.
Oh, yeah.
No, it has to be stupid.
Oh,
Yeah, that's not. It's not stupid. That's almost like it should be in there.
yeah, but there's only a baby one in that
Yeah,
one.
that is awesome. One of our guys, George Sinclair, he's got I guess he's going to scorn me for not knowing what year it is.
50...
I'd say 56, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Cadillac, which is absolutely massive, and it's a
Unreal.
proper survivor. It's like I don't know if it's original paint, but it looks like it. It's all patinaed, and there's rust holes through the bumpers and stuff.
Yeah.
But because of certain contacts he's got, he managed to display it at the London Concourse like a few weeks back.
There's like fist-sized holes through the bumpers.
I was scrolling through Instagram, all the pictures from London Concourse, like, oh, look at all these amazing cars. And then there's George just cruising along in this rusty 56 Cadillac. I was like, yeah,
It's actually pretty solid. It's just that the chrome stuff, the bumpers on them, they've got those big, well, I don't know what you'd call them, like rocket nose cones on them. They're literally about that long, these cones in the bumpers, and they've got rot holes through them. And
it's like an Eldorado, like one of the really...
It's one with the fins at the back and the big pointy bullet shaped.
Oh, that's
things
really
on the
cool.
bumpers. Oh,
and
it's
he's using it as in the summer, he's basically daily driving it.
Oh, that's amazing. That's really cool. Yeah, no, our love for the Cadillac's gone. We'll keep the engine.
Engine's cool.
We might, maybe a Jag of some sort, something that just shouldn't deserve it. We'll throw either some heads and a cam at it, or more nitrous, and see if we can make a bit of a burnout machine.
You mentioned actually to me when we were looking around earlier about maybe putting it in an XJ or a Series XJ or an XJC, but maybe we should do it in a newer XJ.
XJ40. Just to really...
Maybe even newer than that.
Well, we've had enough
like
run-ins.
2015 or something.
A VW ID7.
Yeah, we've had some run-ins with modern Jags, so we're off them for a little while.
Jags are off. Modern Jags are off the list.
God,
What's the story there then?
So, well, you could explain that.
So we did a series months ago now where we wanted to buy V8s for X amount of budget. I think we were relating it to a Mustang or like a modern day
10% the price of a Mustang.
So I went out and got an XFR Jag, which is something that this is kind of the point of the channel as well. Without the YouTube channel, I probably would never have bought an XFR because I'd have an M5 or whatever. But I thought, well, this is the perfect opportunity to try something like that out. I think it was six and a half,
yeah.
$6,500, which was basically one of the cheapest ones for sale. And it died within about 2 or 3 weeks. They're quite popular timing chain failure. It did have that. Yeah, although we actually think recently it possibly wasn't, because it was fixed in the end, but not by us. So we bought another Jag XFR, this time instead a green one from Copart with less miles that we had no idea if it would even run. So we bought it, had a key made for it, and it started, which was great because we thought we could start this up and it could just knock, and then we're done, basically. Close the YouTube channel now because it's like a $5,000 engine.
Yeah.
But we paid, what, $3,000?
We didn't have the money to buy the first one. It broke, and then we basically overdrew ourselves just to get the replacement. We were like, please work, please work, please work. And it did.
Yeah.
But then guess what happened? It had a timing chain with it going.
And it had like half the mileage or something like that.
Oh.
But it was like incessant electrical issues. And a lot of it is because it's not the best looked after one. It had loads of drain holes blocked so water was just being directed into electronics, which is lovely. And things like the sunroof, that was a nice find from Jag. That there is a common issue on those Jags where the sunroof lets in water because it sags, and it sags because Jag didn't do the bolts up from factory.
They just kind of hand tighten
I took
them.
the headliner down, and there were no bolts. They were just sat in the headliner. They'd all of them had fallen out, so the entire cassette was just sat down. Then the water made its way in through there, and then it tried to escape through the like the drain holes, but they were blocked. So it went to the electrics instead. So that car was, you'd fix something, and then you'd go, what a car this is. Almost 600 horsepower, rear-wheel drive, really, really nice. And then you get bong, your boots open, when your boots not open.
This is like owning a Range Rover L322. What a car! Oh dear. Oh dear. What's a car? Oh dear.
That is basically the JLR experience.
Yes, 100%.
It wasn't helped by the fact that we constantly drag raced it over and over and over again. But, hey.
Minor detail.
Yeah, exactly.
It was when we're, as you know, building that Aston Martin DBS resto mod with a Chevy LT, controversially. And one of the things a lot of people have said, and we thought about it because we wanted to put an engine in it that maybe had a link with Aston Martin in some way. And a lot of people said to us, why don't you put a Jag V8 in it that used to be in the Aston Martin, whatever it would have been at the time.
Yeah.
And we're like, are you aware of that engine?
Sorry, you want us to put an Aston Martin engine in Aston Martin? No, we want reliability.
Yes, exactly. So what madcap things have you got planned for the future?
Have we? I mean, we're normally not more than a few weeks ahead.
Yeah, we do have it. Something we've been teasing for a very long time. It keeps getting pushed back further and further, but it's for that reason that we haven't posted a first video on it. Is that Will and I found sitting in a like a car experience, where you can rent drive a Ferrari for the day for 45 quid, in one of those companies' back lots, and a left-hand drive Mitsubishi Evo 5 RS, which is hen's teeth at the best of times. And it was just parked up, sat there.
It was Roger Clark. I listened to your podcast with Ollie Clark, and I actually spoke to him, and he was like, I remember that car. Yeah, number this.
So, that car was just sat there, and they were having a clear out of cars. They had no idea what it was, but they had no idea of the significance of a factory left-hand drive Evo, of which there were 280 or something like that when they were new, but these were motorsport cars. So there's not 280 left. They're all wrapped around finished trees somewhere.
Yeah.
So there's no idea how many left, but this car was sat there with suitable amounts of rust. We took it for dry ice blasting. Yep, there's some holes, but we want to build it back into, and we want to put it on the road because it's a motorsport car. It has a VIN, it has a chassis number, but no VIN number, and we should be able to type approve it because it's an Evo 5. So that's the whole process that we're going to kind of jump through and see what we can do with that car. That's going to be a big build.
It's a really cool project, but again, Evos are now more desirable, so the parts are, and that is, it's been a rally experience car for its entire life.
Yeah, for 25 years.
It was built by Roger Clark or Ollie Clark, and so it's got really nice suspension in it that I think but it's original, so it's knackered now, and they put a cage in it, and I think that he actually reckons they might have turned the power down because everything is pretty much standard, but it's just been maintained really poorly and abused all of its life. But it's never been on the road, so where they usually rot, it hasn't rotted. But it's rotted in other places because of the mud and stuff.
Yeah, Kevlar panels under the rails, which are usually pretty fine, and it's only gotten just along the seams, so it's just sat along the seams and just rotted a tiny bit of the leg. So we've got someone who's going to remake the original Evo panels, or Evo rails, sorry. He's like, it's a pretty small amount of work for the actual rust, but Evo's rust, so therefore he's booked out like you guys are for months and months. So that's why it's kind of on the back burner. But we've filled our boots in the meantime with the cheapest RS6 V10 in the country.
And God, that's just automotive misery encapsulated.
No,
it's so tempting though. So many times over the years, I've been like, I really want an RS6, and like, oh look, you can get one for like $6,000.
Oh my God, that's literally like that. This is, well, it'll be very good entertainment, but it is like literally that's like an automotive nightmare. That's like, that would be finishing just getting burnt out in a lay-by if it was mine.
It's exactly what you expect. Well, we bought it. We took it to a specialist. He went, hey, you've got a really good one. You need to spend 15 to 20 on this. We're like, what? And he was like, yeah, no, it's really good, especially for the money you've paid, but you still need to spend 15 to 20 grand.
And that'll change your throttle body or
Yeah,
something. Because it involves taking every other part of the car off to get at it.
So we're actually not constructing, but we have shoved out Alex from another one of his units so that we can construct a long-term working bay, because we only have one ramp in our unit. And if we put an RS6 on it and try and take an engine out, it will stop us for months, because there will be a part that only exists in East Germany still somehow, that we have to wait on for months and months. So, and
you'll have to store every single nut, bolt, and screw off an RS6, including like the rear bumper or something, to be able to work on the engine.
Yeah. So that's gonna be an interesting one. But you know, our brazen confidence and stupidity is what we're relying on.
That is certainly brazen confidence, but will lead to good entertainment. That is for sure.
That's the thing we always have to go. At least it might be funny.
Yeah.
That sees you through. I bet you say that a lot. I was showing you around earlier, and we looked at the Saab and the ridiculous project where we've somehow ended up putting a Saab 5-cylinder into a B7 S4 Quattro floor pan. And I said, the guy wanted it to be turbocharged. And of course, the S4 came with a naturally aspirated V8. We're like, we could just put the RS6 engine in it. But we're like, that was a thought for about 2 seconds.
Yeah, we want to keep this client. Yeah, we don't want to lose the client.
I don't know a lot about I know much less about the turbocharged ones in detail, but a bit of geek detail for you that you may or may not be already aware of. Tell me if you are. On the one thing I learned about the V8 in the S4, and this is just a normally aspirated V8 in the S4. I was looking at the aircon compressor. I thought, that's interesting. It's got an aircon compressor on there, but no belt driving it. That's a bit weird. Must be shaft driven. Looked at the back of it. It is shaft driven from the power steering pump, which is behind it and which is built into the engine mount. And then that's shaft driven from the timing case, from the timing chain, which is on the back of the engine. So
that sounds nice.
Yeah, the power steering pump's built into the engine mount. The aircon compressor's shaft driven from the timing chain, which you can't change without removing the engine.
Yeah, well, I'm sure we'll find many. The running joke we've had so far with the RS6 is that any job, take the engine out.
Yeah.
Everything requires taking the engine out. And so sometimes people will joke about something and you go, no, just that means taking the engine out.
It's a bit like a Land Rover with taking the body off.
I was about to say, it's just like an L322.
But you can't take the body off on them. They're monocoque.
You can't even.
So you have to set the engine out.
Change the turbos on that.
Take the engine out.
There's a boost sensor.
No, do the cam cover gasket. Effectively take the engine out. You have to take it off its mounts because you can't get the injectors out without taking the engine off its mounts.
That's exactly what the RS6 is. It's awful. We reckon there's an issue with the boost sensor, which will
seemingly
probably
minor problem.
It's I think what was it, 75 quid?
It's the same boost sensor that you get on a 1.8T.
It's an N75 valve.
To do that N75 valve, you have to take the engine out.
Yeah. You can see it.
Yeah,
you can't touch
it. You cannot physically get to it.
You might be able to feel it just about, but you cannot change it.
In fact, the engine is so tightly packed in there that they had to put the steering rack above the back of the engine. Yeah. So to do the steering rack, you take the engine out.
Same on the S4. Yeah, the steering rack is above the engine at the back. And if you have a rack problem on it, I'm pretty sure you're getting the engine out.
That Audi just went, how can we make this handle poorly? Right, just mess with everything. Just move it all around.
Put it all at the top and all at the front.
Yeah. Can we move that engine a little bit further over the wheels, if possible? Yeah. But so that will be fun.
So was that $6,000? Did you say that RS6 was?
Yeah, $6,500.
$6,500.
Which the car was listed for $8,000, and we got like a dealer auction login. And I said to Will, "Should we bid on this thing?" And so Will said, go in at $6,000. And I was like, I really want it. So I'm going to go in at $6,500. We're never going to get it anyway. And he just took it instantly. And we both went, oh, shit. If he took $6,500, if he took 1,500 quid straight off the price and just accepted it, we're in for bad times. But it will be good.
Let's say this wasn't for the YouTube entertainment. This was actually a car you were going to buy for yourself. And it was going to be your only car for $6,500. What would you buy?
Not an RS6.
It wouldn't be an RS6. I'm kind of in that position right now. I'm looking for a daily because, as you've seen, I have my E36, which is supposed to be my track car, which is I'm dailing at the moment. I, for some reason, have a really weird affinity for the A6 All-Road, the generation after.
I thought about that when you were talking about your off-roaders and you said, what did you get, the Streetwise? I was like, All-Road.
Yeah. But
as long as it's not got a V10 in it.
No, yeah. But my real answer is I like pain and suffering, so I want a Range Rover Classic. I'm obsessed with Range Rover Classics. I will own a Beluga Black.
For $6,500, you're going to have.
It's going to be a really tough one.
You need to learn to weld.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, the thing is, you generally can fix them with a welder and a hammer.
Yeah. Well, we did
At the same time.
Yeah,
as well,
probably. Yeah.
I've welded my hammer to the car. We one of the previous series that we did is we bought a Camaro TVR 4-litre, and it's something I've literally since I was a child. My mum had a purple Paradise TVR Chimera, which is the coolest mum in the world. And I always used to think the way their exhaust manifolds are is they come out, they go to the front, and then they V-band into each other. I always used to think, so I first got into turbo MX-5s. That was my start into modifying cars properly, is how easy would it be to turbo one of these? So we did it for the channel. I built a turbo TVR Chimera, and it made 415 horsepower and 430 pound-foot of torque on a bone stock 4-litre. So now, every time I look at a Range Rover Classic, I'm like, turbo on that would be cool. That would be the one good thing about this car, which is that the engine mostly works, I could ruin quite nicely.
I like the way, from my question of what would your sensible daily car be for £6,500? Range Rover Classic with a turbo in front of the engine.
Yeah, that's it.
You're definitely the right material for being near Retropower here, because this is that's the correct answer.
Same question to you, Will.
Sensible is
Well,
different.
I didn't say that originally. So
Well, not sensible, but something that you would.
has to be.
I believe a daily driver, you should not worry about going out to it the next morning. To be fair, I mean, for almost the last year or so, I've had an L322, and I had never had a Range Rover before that, and it's just the best car in the world.
Phenomenal
when it's working.
But you say that mine has been flawless.
Shouldn't have said that.
Yes.
But the thing is, though, I'm not using it now, so it will now probably wither and die because I've just bought a CL500 to replace it with. And I haven't sold the Range Rover yet because I can't let it go because I'm like, it's just too good. The CL does the comfort thing and the quiet thing better, but it can't do everything else. It's the 4.4 twin turbo diesel one. So it's just modern enough that it's fine to use every day and it looks really nice, but it's also comfortable, and you can also fit 8 wheels in the back of it and you can fit 5 people in it.
Doesn't use an insane amount of fuel.
No,
and somehow actually feels a bit special, without being flash special.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's not. It does all the things other cars can do, just 95% of it, and I will struggle to sell that car.
Yeah.
But if I do, it means I'll probably buy another Range Rover somewhere down the line.
My wife keeps saying about getting rid of that because she complains about ours, the fact that yes, realistically, it probably goes wrong quite a lot. But I don't think I want to get rid of it. So we might just get something else as well.
Yeah. If you do, you'll just end up back in another Range Rover.
Yeah, I suspect when she gets something else, she'll actually think, oh, I actually quite like that.
Yeah, no, but that would be my. And again, I know it's not the most economical thing you could
Not
go
bad,
buy.
though.
Because to be fair, the Fiesta that I won that's identical to my first car, I thought if my commute was short, I'd just buy that. It's so easy to fix. It's just doing 50 miles to the gallon everywhere, no matter how you drive it. Tax is like £100. But yeah, the Range Rover, if you can deal with the running costs, that is the daily driver.
Yeah, we've said it before.
Yeah.
I believe it is the car of all time.
Yeah.
Like an L322, even more than the new one. It's the car. It's still classless. You look well off, but also not like a dick.
Yeah, not like a tosser.
You're every man, but in your nice car.
I agree. The funny thing is, there's a fine line, because if it's a sport,
you're
a dick.
Yeah,
Totally different.
I sneer at Range Rovers. I see a sport driver go past.
Even in the we've talked about it before.
The thing is, they are fundamentally different. I don't know how, but they almost feel like they're trying too hard.
But even we've talked about it before. Even the next generation, the L405, if you drive an SVR Sport, you're a clown. But if you have an SV L405, just big full fat Range Rover, but even with the SV engine, so you've got the SVR engine, you're cool. You're the same spec thing, but one is a person from Birmingham, and the other one is the height of royalty.
How is this bizarre?
But it is. I'm glad it's not just me and you have thought this, but it does seem to be the case. And the classless thing does count again, as you say. It's just you could be a farmer using it to tow a horse, tow a livestock trailer, or somebody, or the Queen,
exactly,
or a drug dealer,
or anybody. It's a car for every person, everyone.
Do whatever you want.
How much workshop space have you actually got at your HQ?
We've got a single bay, and that's it. So to be fair, it's a generous single bay. It's a workshop that has one 2-post ramp in it. Which is fine if you were focusing on one build at a time. But take, for instance, now we've got the Fiesta and the Golf. I put the Golf on and I start doing my Cayenne brake calipers on it, and I then get stuck up with a part that's missing. But Will needs to be on there tomorrow.
This is like running a real
Yeah,
garage.
exactly. But Will needs to get on it tomorrow to do the Fiesta. But then the issue is a video has to go out on Monday. The sponsor's already in there. Everything's locked in. Work something out. Make it work. So there's this weird fine line between bodgery and us wanting to do cars right and take our time and do it, which is kind of why we've got a second channel where we work on our personal cars on. And I bought an Evo 1 that hadn't been on the road in 20 years because I always liked Evo 1s. And it's taken me, 2 months. The beginning shot, I watched it this morning. I'm wearing shorts in the opening shot because I don't want to rush it. I don't want to use a random piece of hardware to hold the timing belt on because I need it to be off the ramp for tomorrow. I want to take my time. I'll push it out. It can go sit in the yard for a bit and then I'll do it when I get around to it. So yeah, it's this weird kind of tipping point. So we've got one and then now we're getting another one next door for long-term stuff.
And how much of your time do you actually spend spannering on cars?
Or at my girlfriend's behest, I spend a lot of time. So we get in at latest 9:30. We'll stay there until 7 or 8 most nights. And then I will be there on Saturday and Sunday doing stuff on my personal cars. Because I live close enough to be able to go to the unit for that. Whereas obviously...
I do a lot less on weekends now that we do it so much in the week. But I still do stuff, even at home and stuff. It's just never to the same extent of that. But yeah, it's 6 or 7 days a week for the most part.
Sorry, girlfriends.
It's not got to that point yet where you're sick of working in cars on the week, so you want to just leave it alone.
I am, but then we have so Monday is a main channel video goes out, but then we'll book the second channel video has to go out on Friday, and you push it off enough, and then you go, hold on, this car has to be done next Friday. I only have the weekend to work on it because in the weekdays, we're working on the main channel cars. So you go, oh, okay, Saturday's cancelled. We'll be working on an Evo this weekend. Yeah. But to be fair, that's completely down to us. It's not, put on by anybody else. I think we are workaholics. We love doing what we do.
It's a funny one. You saying about they all sort of get sick of it working. A friend of mine that runs a car business very close to here actually had said, when we first set up, he sort of said, oh, you'll get sick of it. It's your hobby and you turn it into a job. You'll get sick. I'm never sick of it. I would work on cars pretty much all the time, given the choice. I've never got sick of it at all. I get sick of aspects of it, but I just do a different aspect of it when I'm sick of that one. But the general thing, I don't get sick of at all. But the problem is, obviously, as life goes along and your kids and things and other stuff has to be done, it kind of limits your car messing around with time. But it's not through not wanting to do it. It's just not being able to do it all the time.
Maybe you'll agree, but I get sick of working on them, but it's the want to see the final product that will keep me going. Like I'll be the radiator on the Golf. I was like, I don't want to do this. I just don't want to do it. But if I do it, we get to go on track together and mess around. Let's do it. Let's get this done.
A lot of the jobs I do like, but yes, there's plenty of things like that I don't. But as you say, if I just get that bit done, I can do the enjoyable bit.
Yeah, exactly. The fun bit.
I can do it, even if the fun bit's another bit of the job on the car. Yeah. I can just temper the painful bits with the nice bits.
I think that's where Nat and I sort of have a slight differing, is that I think Nat's more into the process. I love the process, but it's more of a means to an end. It's like I can visualize what this car is going to be like. I can't wait to see it take shape. Yes, I want to make sure all the processes involved end up with it being as good a result as possible. But I think you have a slightly different mindset in that you get more into the individual task and really enjoy that particular, seeing that particular bit take shape, which is great.
Win each little battle all the way along. I like getting it right. I'm really happy with that. When you get the whole car together and you're happy with all the little bits, that's really satisfying. And then doing the racing, being able to do that, be happy with all the bits, and then get a trophy. That's the real.
I can imagine
that's the absolute icing on the cake.
Amazing.
That's my most enjoyable bit.
So, do you ever see your channel being more than just you two?
To be fair, so Ben is off camera. He is our videographer, but we like bringing in Ben on the camera. He's very good on camera. He won't say it, but he's very good on camera. We've done multiple episodes where we usually are bullying him under the guise of
S2000.
Exactly. Yeah. it's so yeah. We convinced him finally to buy an S2000, then did a load of mods to it. But yeah, I mean we're kind of happy with our trio. You basically have to be able to take enough flack. That's to kind of be in internet, and Ben is a very good sport. So yeah, I think we have cameos from people all the time. We have collaborations with other people. So we're quite happy with that. But yeah, I think that's probably.
I think that's probably a good move. I was watching some of your episodes last night to refresh my memory, and I said to my wife, "There's something about the dynamic between you two that works ridiculously well, and it reminds me a little bit of Top Gear, but not." In the sense that you're copying Top Gear.
Yeah,
it just has that feel about it.
It's really easy to fall into the attempt to copy Top Gear. I mean, like even you see people all the time. We've heard people who are starting up TV shows or even YouTube channels. They're like, no, we need 3 because we need it to be like Top Gear. But it was never about the number. It's about the chemistry. You can put 3 random people together. They're never gonna work it out.
No.
Whereas Ben and I have worked together for long enough. Will and I have worked together long enough, and then Ben and Will now know each other well enough and are good enough friends? But that we can all take the piss out of each other, and it will sound on the outside like we are being horrific people to each other, but it's fine. Although Ben you probably don't think that.
No, you are just being horrific.
He's coming around to it. He's coming around.
But so yeah, that's it's a hard line not to be compared to Top Gear, and it is the nicest bit of praise you can ever receive. It's the thing we grew up watching and loving, and it's the reason we do this. So it's great, but at the same time, it's always hard to not feel like, no, we're not trying to to be a replica of it.
Yeah, and I was trying to word that carefully because I've watched a lot of other people, some fairly well-known YouTubers, who are quite obviously trying to emulate that Top Gear thing, and it in no way does it appear you're trying to emulate Top Gear, but the dynamic between the two of you feels like the dynamic between the 3 presenters of Top Gear, the original 3. So no, it's very good. I guess your next big milestone is going to be 1 million.
Yeah, we hope to get 500k by the end of the year. That's our goal we've kind of been pushing towards. But 1 mil is everyone will say that it doesn't matter. But you want a mil.
Once the temptation's there.
For some reason, that number is I care more about 1 mil than 10 mil. I just want 1 mil. 1 million is cool.
This is 1M.
Yeah.
It's not a number anymore. It's a 1 and an M.
You must have done the maths on your current subscribership growth and when that's going to be.
The current, well, I mean, you can assess this stuff all you like, because there's plenty of people who've done it quicker or they've done it longer. It could take 10 years. It could be done by next year. It could be done by next month. You have no idea. Like, we're on a trajectory where it might be like 26, 27, as in the year 26, 27. But if you look at someone like Matt Armstrong, he was at a similar number to what we're at now, and he grew to something like 2 or 3 million subscribers in the space of a year.
Yeah.
So it depends. Some YouTube channels really do take off. Some people tick over a certain amount of time. So it's hard not to think about it, but it's just have it as a goal in mind to try and get there. It's 1 million would be really
it's the number.
Yeah.
It's the number.
It might just hinge on one episode that just strikes a chord.
Absolutely.
And I bet that was the case with Matt Armstrong.
Something
like that Rolls Royce. I bet that absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's something that exposes you to an audience that had no idea about you, because that's the key thing with what we're doing is keep doing what we're doing, and that eventually people go, hang on, I really like this. More people go, hang on, I really like this. Why have I never seen this before? So 1 million would be nice, but we just have to keep at it. Really,
it's like your Gordon Murray moment where things were already going well, and then it was just that one thing that just went, oh, everyone knows who I am now. Oh, cool, I've got bookings forever. Yeah, it's that's not that we haven't had that already. There's been multiple moments where we've gone, what the hell? Where have these people?
We're really doing this.
But I think we're both analytical, but also like hungry enough that it is never enough. We'll get to a mill and then go, right, what's next?
Yeah, and you always will. We're the same with car. You get to something like Gordon Murray, and you're like, what do you do next? And then we've got that business, and they're like, oh, let's set up another business.
Yeah,
and, it kind of never is enough for people who are driven to get there in the first place.
And it's not, and you can't really put your finger on why either, or I can't, because it's not like, oh, I want to earn loads of money. It's not anything specific. You just sort of
want the next thing.
Yeah. It's always like, well, I've done that bit. I want to do this bit now.
Yeah.
But I think I absolutely love the channel, and I think you guys just need to keep on doing what you're doing, and I look forward to seeing you notch past that 1 million mark. I suspect very soon, to be honest.
Well, the feeling is very much mutual. We're very pleased to be here. Hopefully, at some point, TDC takes off enough to commission a car.
That's what I've been thinking about all day. I'm like, one day I'm coming to these guys, and I'm not going to say, how much would this cost? I'm just going to say, I'm going to Gordon Murray it. Make this.
Don't care. Go.
I so hope that happens.
That'd be good.
That'd be amazing.
We'll drop off a continental shell and go, have at it.
Guys, thank you very much for coming on. And
thank you.
we look forward to seeing the next episode.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.